Shut up, Budz.
Hey, what up, guys?
What the fuck is up, y'all? Holy shit. We back.
Yeah, we're late. Carnage was late.
Yeah, I was a little late. I need to. It's all good though. I mean, shit. As if we are fucking trying to say we're anything other than taste buds. We're back and we're doing it exactly the way we did it back then. We're late.
Yeah, and we still have very high opinions of ourselves and even lower opinions
Very.
of what we're reviewing. So, at least in my case. But we'll get there. So yeah, Taste Buds is back for at least
Wait
2
a minute,
episodes.
excuse me?
What?
Nothing. Go ahead. I
I'm
didn't
done,
quite pick
I'm
up what
done.
you were putting down. That's it. You're good. Hell yeah, Taste Buds is fucking back. First of all, can I just say shout outs? We do got to get into this review like almost immediately because oh, GB's here. Awesome. GB, so we're a little late. So I hope you don't mind. You might be starting a little late. We may have just kind of pushed everything back a little bit. That's on me, dog. My bad. I hope you don't mind. Anyway, we are, as my esteemed co-host just wrote down in the title, we're reviewing Avenged Sevenfold's Nightmare album today as a Halloween episode. And can I just say, it's fucking amazing to be back on a mic, on a call with Runa FS, getting ready to review an album for Taste Buds. This is a fucking amazing feeling. It took
Yeah.
us forever. We're finally here.
Yeah, I'm fucking excited, man. This was fun. Yeah, dude. We're talking about the possibility of bringing it back, but we're not sure. We're gonna see how it goes.
Hell yeah.
Aw.
Fucking I had a blast doing this back in the day. Taste Buds was like so good to me. Oh my god, I fucking love doing this. It is time consuming. It takes a while to get shit done. It takes a while to like fucking write a whole dissertation on an album or a movie or some food that we made, whatever the fuck it may be. But to give y'all a little bit of insight on what we used to do, it's exactly that. We're called Taste Buds. We used to just review either a movie, an album, or a dish. It used to be kind of more community driven on which ones we did, but been a while, so we just kind of chose some for Halloween edition. What I mean by some is not only are we doing a music one, but we're doing a movie one later on in the week.
Yeah, and if you guys want to, so we're gonna be reviewing Hocus Pocus 2 on Friday. We have that scheduled for 8 p.m. as well, I believe. And we're having a watch party in the Discord for that if you guys want to come out and watch the movie with us. I do believe that is on the schedule. I think we were going to start around 10, but it might be a little later. But I'll be in there with you guys, just kind of chit-chatting, ready to get going. So yeah.
So the way that that's going to do with the Discord movie night, I actually got to go to Nutsack's house to help him with his stream on that same night. So once Nutsack's stream wraps up, I'm going to rush back home and hop in Discord ASAP. So 10:15, 10:30-ish probably.
Yeah. But yeah, shit, are you ready to hop into this?
I am so fucking ready to hop into this. Holy shit.
All right.
Who do we want to kick off? You want me to kick it off?
Yeah.
Okay. So, oh my god, the nerves, right? Our fucking triumphant return, Silent Bob back. Cool. Okay. Track number 1, Nightmare. Right off the bat, we are met with eerie bell chimes and a building wave of sound that rips into explosions of drums and guitars before crashing down and being brought back with the vocals of Nightmare. What a fucking way to start an album with plenty of changes, clever fills, and even a call and response at one point. This 6-minute and 14-second progressive piece certainly lives up to the challenge of being an album opener by having all the energy you could ever want, setting the tone for the album perfectly, and being a downright banger of a track. Everyone in the band kind of shines in this one. The guitars are easy to point out, as not only do they contribute so much to that great eerie sound you'd want in a metal song called Nightmare, but they also use that signature sound by having dual leads over a solid bass filling the back, something you can hear in just about every Avenged Sevenfold album. The drums simply cannot be left out. Mike Portnoy shows up and delivers exactly what they wanted for a fill-in drummer. Which brings me to a very important part and topic with this album. As soon as I catch my breath. So, the drummer to the band, Jimmy the Rev Sullivan, unfortunately lost his life to addiction while in the process of making this album. And while it's certainly apparent in the lyrical content, you wouldn't notice a lack of ability in the drums, as they have asked legendary drummer Mike Portnoy to step in and finish the album They started with the Rev. Portnoy was Rev's biggest influence, so the decision was kind of easy for the band. And I've certainly went on long enough setting up the album, but it's certainly one of my favorites. So expect a lot more fanboying all over these tracks. Nightmare is an absolute fucking banger.
All right, well, that's the show, guys. I don't have nearly as much content as Carnage does, so yeah, bye. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I didn't do nearly. I did not go as in depth on this one. Anyway,
you remember how the show goes?
Yeah, I do.
Runa says the lyric part. Carnage does the more technical thing.
That's true. I think it's a good balance, though. But anyway. The song starts off with this creepy kind of lullaby tune is what I pulled from it. It sounds kind of like a, you know, a little lullaby, which alludes to the name of the album and the song. There's the big burst of the drums and the guitar. It's really heavy. I liked it at that point, and then he started singing, and then I didn't like it anymore. Okay. The background singing was a little bit cringe for me. The lyrics were interesting on this one. And then there's this particular guitar riff after the second chorus that I really, really liked. I liked the actual melody of the song, but the singing just wasn't for me.
That is a very common complaint with Avenged Sevenfold.
Okay, I don't feel as bad now.
No, you shouldn't feel bad. Is that it?
Yeah.
Well, you remember how this goes, right? You got to kick off song number 2. Shit.
Okay.
I'm sorry, we're shaking off the rust, y'all. We're shaking off the rust.
Yeah. Okay, so number 2 on the album is Welcome to the Family. And I put down, yikes. Again, the melody is good, but the singing, I feel like 2006 Runa would have been into this, like the angst and intentional overdone, if not bland darkness of the lyrics. To be fair, the chorus is kind of catchy.
Okay. Y'all ready for the Jizz Fest?
We need one. We need one.
Right away, we are hit with a quick follow-up song to keep the energy and momentum going. The drums come in fast. The vocals jump right out in front. This is a great example of some of the vocal layering you'll hear on this album that Runa calls cringe. Just different styles of singing. Several harmonies layered over top of each other, and it really has a certain effect to it that makes it the much more present and standoutish effect. So speaking of the vocals, the lyrics, but Carnage, you never pay attention to lyrics. Well, if I can bring the mood down for just a little bit, and Runa, don't you feel bad? This album has helped me through some very emotional times for myself. I lost the best uncle anyone could ask for, as well as a very good friend of mine, both very sudden and way too early in life. And the song's lyrics are a reflection on what the band dealt with when grieving. So they realize that everyone kind of goes through the same sort of pain or emotional loss that is, you know, just downright debilitating at times. And while it sucks, there's a place of comfort knowing that this is a very human feeling and that we all kind of go through this experience and share a similar pain even. One could almost say you're being welcomed into a family of sorts when you come to this realization and see all of the others that have shared this pain. And for me, it was these guys, you know, and for them, it was the fans that would either express their pain for the loss of the Rev to them or sharing their own story of grief that they once had to go through. But let's not talk away from the song's impressive feats, I thought, though musically. The lead almost halfway through the song is just a beautiful connector to the bridge that wraps the song back together and brings it back to the original timing / melody, and wrapping up the song with a flourish of guitar sounds over heavy drums and dark singing.
Okay. Yeah, so you have a lot more like backstory on this album than I did. And I'm sorry.
That's the thing. That's what I was going to say. Shit all over it, dog. It's all good. You will not be the first person to ever shit on this album for me. It's fine. I kind of expected you to not like this album. Not even like oh, it's Runa. She's a girl. She hates metal. You fucking loved Opeth. That blew me away. It was more of just like, I didn't think the way that this band conducts themselves and the melodies, that not even so much the melodies, more so the singing and like the lyrical content. I didn't think this would be your cup of tea, to be honest. So I wasn't really expecting you to like it. So it's all good.
Okay, good.
But we will, man, he finished all over his car. Too bad the vocalist sucks. Whatever. Next song, Danger Line. Okay, the beginning starts off with very militant drums, setting the mood for a very militant theme song. An almost Clint Eastwood style of lyrics starts off with singing Starts off the single with a slow build through the verse all the way to the chorus, where it continues to build until it screeches to a stop and comes back with a flashy guitar riff, and then the ride starts over again for verse 2. The lyrical content is pretty heavy, as it seems to be about a soldier fighting in war and eventually meeting his untimely end, all signified by the words, "I'm free," and a very telling guitar backed by piano that seem to represent the spirit truly drifting off. This blends smooth and melodically into a haunting whistle and more of the militant drums from the beginning to fade out and close the song.
Okay. Yeah, I picked up on the same thing lyrically, and the way that the drums start off, and it almost sounds like a march. Like
Mhm.
you get this immediate like marching beat. Really good guitar again. I love the guitar. And then I liked the melody, and then I was waiting for him to swoop in and just ruin it, and he did. And
Oh fuck!
I'm so sorry.
Do I need to not sing on the fucking nutsack stream? Because I don't think I'm
No,
gonna sing now.
no, I'm looking forward to that a lot because
Oh,
I don't
good.
know, like I have. I don't know. I'm glad
No, you're good.
Nutsuck's not here.
Oh, he might have had a different. He might have been like, "Fucking what? You guys didn't like it?" I've heard this enough times that, like, man, I'm expecting people to not like it at this point. But oh, he doesn't get it yet. He will. One day
Okay.
he'll realize, yeah, no, not everyone likes this band. Uh, anyway,
All right.
yeah, you
We're
want to kick us
on.
off for 4?
Yeah, Buried Alive. I really liked the opening to this one. It was a nice slowdown from the other songs so far. It was a bit more soulful, I felt, than some of the other ones. The guitar comes in, but it's still kind of soft. And then he starts singing, and he starts enunciating stuff so hard, like chances. Like he just like puts this like weird twist on some of the words, and I'm like, what? But it does pick up on the chorus. I didn't really know how to feel about this one. It was like, it was okay.
Well, I think Af is logged into my account there. That's fine.
Uh,
Yeah, I was like, I don't remember saying I love this album. Who's me right now? Yeah. So, Buried Alive. Yeah, Trav, you get me, dog, right? You get me. Runa doesn't like him shadows. Blaze don't either. It's whatever though, right? Like, it is what it is. Harmonies are uncreative. How fucking dare? Oh, are you saying that's what Runa said? Maybe. I don't know. Anyway. Buried Alive, right?
Yep.
Okay. So you might hear this too much for me in the review, but fucking banger alert. This guitar is just an absolute chef's kiss and just never stops throughout the entire track. Even Runa, hater of Avenged Sevenfold, like the guitar in this one.
Mhm.
While in this humble music critic, shut up, I am, opinion, most of the time the whole band can stand out with their own flair. But in this song, Sinister Gates, the guitarist, does something beautiful with his guitar. Even during the verses, there is a great finger picking riff that just gets backed by more prominent leads in the pre-chorus. And then there is the bridge, and oh my goodness, what a bridge it is. It starts with this just amazing lead over a building drum and bass backing. The tempo gets faster and faster until eventually erupts into this dark and angry wave of guitars and screams. The drums during this part, while not super impressive, just get absolutely beat on, given even more powerful sound to really let the vocals shine and make this bridge stand out. The lyrical content is certainly worth getting into, as it's a song about being buried alive, and it actually feels like there is a limited amount of time for you as the song progresses because of the increased tempo and sound of almost desperation with the screams. So while the lyrics are there, the music certainly tells the story enough, even so much so to make it all come to a sudden end, as if it's the last scoop of dirt being added to the top.
Well,
Runa, I did not get that at all.
no, like
Okay.
I like because I when I do these albums, I will pull up the lyrics too, and I'll read the lyrics, and I'll listen to the song while I'm looking at it. And I picked up on that. It's just I don't know. I'll get into it in a couple more songs because I was still trying. Like I really do try to keep an open mind when we do these.
Yeah.
I try to look at it,
Can confirm.
a little more like apart from myself, but I am who I am, so
Hey, and no different than how I did. Y'all remember how I fucking destroyed country music? Shit, it's all good. Y'all just fucking hate on whatever it is you need to hate on. It's fine. You know what I mean? Like we all have different tastes. That's why we're taste buds. So we can learn and we can see what everyone likes and stuff. It's fine to not like things. This is fine. So Natural Born Killer, track 5. Okay. I guess at some point they had to just let Mike Portnoy just absolutely flex on drums because there's certainly no surprise that he comes in with all sorts of fast drums that absolutely take center stage, even to the very upfront vocals. Now that we're almost halfway through this album, I have to absolutely gush over the drummer. Mike Portnoy is a legend for a reason. The man does it and man does it show in this song. And while there are certainly other songs to point this out in, even on this album for that matter, in other words, like there's certainly other songs that have good drums and all that. This song is just a nice steady driving kind of song and just has that kind of energy you would want at the almost halfway mark of an album. And if I can kind of turn away a bit and mention something about the vocals, I think they stand out nicely in this song as well. I've heard people give this band a pass based purely on Matt Shadows, the vocalist. And while I understand he may not be everyone's cup of tea, I think he has a certain power to his vocals that adds a nice force to the sound of this band. And it really comes through in this song. I, although, can hear where some might be a bit put off by the almost Axl Rose type of twang that he adds to his singing at times. Either way, I think he's an incredible vocalist, in my opinion.
Okay. Now, okay, the twang thing that describes it perfectly. I think that that's what threw me off because
Yeah.
when I hear Avenged Sevenfold Nightmare, I'm like, okay, this is gonna be really hard, heavy, and then he's almost got like a country thing going on, and it just threw me off. But anyway, here's what I wrote down for Natural Born Killer. Really hard and heavy follow up to the last song. Wow, so I got distracted halfway through this, and once I tuned the lyrics out, it was pretty good. I, like I was responding to someone on Discord, and then I was just like, hmm. But yeah, again, I like the music part. I just do not like his voice.
Dude, this is exactly Burrito's opinion on Avenged Sevenfold. Like, I've tried getting him to like this band so much, and he always tells me the same thing. It's just like, man, the guitars are great, the drums are cool, everything's cool instrumentally wise, but the singing, I just can't deal with it. And what are you gonna do, right?
Tune it out.
Fair.
Apparently. All right. So next up, we have number 6 on the album, So Far Away. For me, this one felt like it didn't really belong on this album. I don't know what it was. It was just different. Like it felt like it should be on one of their normal albums. I don't know. It was one of the really only like different sounding songs from the album that I had heard so far. And the imagery that they use in their lyricism wasn't as prevalent either. It was an okay song for me. Yeah.
Okay. So just to take care of a couple things in chat, why is this drummer on this album? So this drummer was the influence of the original drummer, Jimmy the Rev Sullivan, who passed away in the making of this album. And if you look at the album cover on the gravestone there, it actually says Forever, and REV is very kind of in front there. It was kind of like their tagline for a while there. It was just their way to commemorate them, saying the Rev Forever. But Mike Portnoy is the drummer from Dream Theater. That's where most people would know him from. Absolutely incredible drummer. Always has been really good at like progressive metal and just kind of math rock stuff and stuff like that. So he was a heavy influence for the Rev, and the band reached out to him, was like, "Hey man, you were like the guy's hero. Would you want to fill in for his shoes on this album?" He already had most of the demoing done, so it was just basically a matter of listening to it, kind of seeing where his mindset was, and honestly adding his own flair to it at sometimes because, he's a legend. There's a reason they went and got him. So, yeah. Fucking shout outs to Burrito Deep Throat for always making that fucking appearance whenever he's just summoned upon somehow. Like, how do you do that? Oh man.
We were literally just talking about you.
It's usually how he does. Fucking Blaze. Just, when the singer dies, I might like him. Anyway, last song, or next song for me, So Far Away, the same one you just did. The album decides to slow down a bit for a moment and give us this beautiful song in memory of their recent loss. And while there isn't a ton of flair or impressively difficult playing on this track, the songwriting itself is what makes this one stand out for me. As I've said before, a lot of this album helped me through some things, and this one was a key factor in this. But rather than bring the mood down with too many personal stories, I can easily say the songwriting for its original purpose is just the right blend of confusion and unacceptance that is expected to come with this type of loss. And that all plays out nicely and fades slowly away. Then the guitars come back, bring back a much more powerful sound, as well as more accepting of the situation's lyrics. The powerful vocals I mentioned last song really shine through here and just capture a very raw and pain filled sound to put a proverbial cherry on top for the ending of this song, only to be followed with the fading words of, I need you to know. Powerful, beautiful song.
All right.
And then we have track 7, God Hates Us. Okay, before you run out screaming, Edgelord, cringe alert, let's just take a moment to appreciate this opening. As they've displayed on the rest of the album, this band is certainly no stranger to using tons of layered sound in their music. The way they arrange the guitars to hauntingly guide us into this explosion of emotion and sound is just the thing that makes this transition from the last slow song into this breakneck speed guitar riffs and ferocious vocals. And man, are they ferocious. Ferocious. M Shadows definitely comes through with the screams, especially with the vocal layering that haven't been found often in this band since their early years. They used to scream a lot more in the first 2 albums. While it might seem a bit off putting in the lyrics, this is a great example of the anger we feel when we're not quite ready to accept a loss. The blaming of others for your pain, even in deities, is certainly something that a lot of those that have experienced this kind of pain can relate to or even reflect on. That definitely comes through in the lyrics, and the sound accompanies it right just up to the end, where it almost seems like the ending to a dream sequence, very fitting again for the whole nightmare motif.
Hmm. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. Here's what I put down. So the
I'm
song
looking forward
starts
to
out
this.
a really slow, plucky guitar, and then it comes in with the really heavy drums and the guitar, and then he does some screaming, like a little more, a little more screamy voice. I actually liked his voice more in this song than I did any of the other songs. This was the only one that I was like, hey, maybe dude actually has some talent. The lyrics were still shit in my opinion though. The music, the
Yeah.
actual music part I really liked, but I don't know. Again, his voice was better in this one than the other ones for me, but still.
Yeah, the lyrics are a bit, like I said, the lyrics are off-putting at times, and I completely get that. It's not for everybody.
Yeah.
They don't always have the most complicated lyrics in the world either, so, I
Yeah,
get it.
they're kind of, I don't know, I'll go into that. I have the next
I
song, I
can't
have
wait.
some ideas
Mhm.
on that.
Okay.
Which I guess I need to start off.
Yeah.
Track 8, Victim. There it starts with this bell tolling, and there is a bit of like a choir sound to it. And it's obviously a song about losing someone and like the grief that you go through when that happens. And again, liked the music, did not like his voice or the lyrics. It's like he just doesn't put any like heart into the music. And the lyrics, it's like they just strung a bunch of words together that kind of rhyme, and they're like, yeah, that sounds good, bro. Yeah, put it on the album. I don't know. This is not for me.
Okay. This one, it's not my favorite song. The song is a bit of a sleeper to me, as when I first heard it, I didn't like it as much, but it definitely grew on me over time. Ironically enough, it's a song claiming to be victims of a crime. Nonetheless, that's certainly not the reason for my distaste. I guess it just didn't have that initial grab of fast instruments or anything crazy difficult or even a lot of layering. It just kind of falls flat when compared to the rest of the album, in my opinion. Although it's grown on me over the years, just not enough to place it anywhere else on other than last on this album, to be honest. Um, and the next song, Tonight the World Dies, also pretty small review here. Different sounding song towards the end of the album to keep it fresh. This one has a bit of a grungy Soundgarden-esque feel to it that gives it almost another example of how those powerful vocals can come through. Granted, this is certainly no Chris Cornell, but certainly a cool sound and obviously influenced by that sound. There's a cool lead toward the end of the song that goes quite nicely with the vocals as a more fleshed out version of the chorus, before ending it with a calming acoustic guitar. Not a lot to this song, just the unique sound, a few flares throughout, kind of another filler song.
Okay, this was actually the only one on this album I actually liked. Like,
and this is why we have different tastes. It's beautiful.
his voice was actually good in this song. I enjoyed it. And there was a little bit more heart in it. And I really liked the melody. And for the lyrics, it sounds like it was like a failing relationship and they're just kind of dancing around their problems and struggling to stay the course in a long-term relationship, going through all the trials that life throws at you along the way, and how you change as a person over time, and having to come face to face with the fact that who you are and the person you loved, you're not the same anymore, and you just don't work quite right anymore.
Wow. I never got that from that song. I never really paid attention to the lyrics. It's always just been kind of a flat song for me. That's crazy. I'll have to listen to that. See? Even the fucking fans of the album learned shit. Look at that. You want to start off the next one?
Oh yeah. Okay, so track 10, Fiction. Another haunting kind of sound to it, like we saw with the first track. The piano, this was, I don't know if they had this in any of the other songs, but it's the first time it was really front and center. I liked it at the beginning. And then for some reason, I don't know what they did with the mixing on this song, but the piano was so loud in comparison to their voices. It just didn't sound right. I liked the melody. And then he had this really whiny voice the whole time. And there was one part in the song, I think it was after the second chorus, where he said "let it burn," and it was a really strong, I don't know, that's the only like feeling I had evoked from the song. Okay. And then at the end, I wrote, what the fuck is this? Did he get sedated? Did he swallow 100 balls of cotton? What the fuck? Yeah, it's really bad.
Yep.
It was like a bad parody of a country song at the end, and I was like, oh god, kill me, please.
There's an explanation for it.
Okay, I'd love to hear it.
Okay, are you done? Okay, I have a big part for this. So, this is a cool song for a multitude of haunting reasons, and this is actually a great song to point out. You know, the reason why we picked this as a Halloween episode, aside from all the, death and shit that's been happening throughout the entire album and how God hates us and all this other shit, there's this song. Let's start with the obvious. This track was written by the band's drummer, Jimmy the Rev Sullivan, 3 days before he was found dead on December 28, 2009, making it the last song ever to be written by the Rev. It was originally titled Death. The song features the deceased drummer singing, as it was decided the Rev's demo vocals should be kept on a track as a tribute for him. So the singing you're hearing, like cotton balls in the mouth and everything, you're right. He wasn't putting any effort into it because it was just a demo track that they were layering out to so big pickup on that. Same thing with the pianos being all forefront and center. Like, you totally pointed out all the shit wrong with this song. Very good job on your behalf. And the reason why is because they just left a very unfinished product. As much as they could, just leave the original piece of what he did and just kind of flesh it out more. So on top of all of that, all the other neat things about this song, one thing that I found interesting was that there's no guitars in this song. And it's actually, upon researching it, the only song in their entire discography that features no guitars. Fucking Rectum Ruda. No, she's right though. Like, he does sound, very whiny, like he has cotton balls in his mouth, everything. Like, she's 100% on point with what she said. She's right.
But
but
I
there's a
didn't know I
reason
was
to it.
shitting on a dead guy. I'm so sorry.
I mean, you're shitting on a dead guy because it sounded like shit. No one is going to take that from you. Like, it didn't sound the best. Trust me, Avenged fans kind of laughed about this song too. It's like, what the fuck are they doing here? And then you realize what it is, and it's like, oh fuck, that's actually kind of cool, and it adds a little bit
Yeah.
something to it.
That's a
But
nice
it's actually like,
homage.
sure. So, like I said, no guitars, only song in their discography that features no guitars, which I looked up to be fact. I'm sure there might be that in itself might be some sort of dedication to him, but it's also just another weird thing to contribute to the song. And in case you haven't paid attention to the lyrics, there are parts of this song that almost seem like they were eerily prophetic. Like he wrote a lot about finding the way when he's not there anymore. And frontman Matt Shadows once said on the song, it was as though he knew he wasn't going to be with us much longer. So there's definitely also something to be said about how much of this song was actually done by the Rev. The keys, drums, and vocals in the song are all written by him, and for the most part, performed by him as well. Fill-in drummer Portnoy said, "This track is 1000% Jimmy. I don't know if I would have played the drum parts that way. I would have done less. It's such a strange, heartfelt song for these guys. The original demo had Jimmy playing piano and drums and singing." But back to me, this song itself is pretty cool considering how little of it is actually finished, as opposed to just being a much more fleshed out demo.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Because I was so confused. Just like, what is happening?
Yeah, no, I mean, hey, there's something to be said about, this amazing Taste Buds reviewer just fucking pointing out all the shit that she notices. That's good. So I know I'm supposed to do the next song, but maybe you should do it first.
Okay, happily.
Yeah.
Track 11, Save Me. This is what I wrote. Please save me
Oh,
from
no.
this nightmare of an album. Okay, they heard me. Good heavy intro. I like it. Another kind of screamy song. He does good with these. Part of me wonders if it's a different person singing on some of these. Oh my. I just realized this is a 10-minute long song. It ain't no Drapery Falls. Another case of a sick-ass melody brought down by strung-together lyrics and par for the course vocals. Sorry, forgive me, Carnage, for I've sinned and skipped the song at 4 minutes and 13 seconds.
The audacity! Oh my god, is that all you have to say? I will not forgive it on this song, Bruno. I simply will not. How dare! I just want to point out, can I just point out something real quick, y'all? Fuck it, we got time. GB can still be on time, and we still got time. I want to point out, Runa never listens to all the fucking songs. Any songs that y'all ever heard her fucking review or anything, Eminem, she ain't listened to any of it. She listened to the first 20 seconds, heard one slur, and said, nope, I'm done.
That is not true. Lies.
Fuck that. I will not hear slander about Save Me.
You just did.
Oh, fuck. That's funny. Anyway, Save Me. This is the most bangerous of banger alerts for me. This is my favorite Avenged Sevenfold song, so prepare for 10 minutes and 56 seconds, or 4 minutes for Runa, of an immersive lyrical journey with all kinds of fun changes and instruments being played masterfully. The vocal layering and harmonies are just sublime. The little breaks of almost whispering screams emoting the evocative words of "they all know" still sends chills down my spine after years of listening. Adding choir in the back to help give the song an overall nice feel adds to the overall atmosphere of not only the song, but to the album as a whole, as it certainly has descriptions of a dark dreamlike state, or again, nightmare. I certainly don't want to go too far into it, as there is a lot to cover with this song, but the guitars are glorious here. And just the squealing sound necessary to complete the wistful ambiance. And surely I have to mention the drums. Portnoy goes nuts in this one, y'all. Not saying the rest of the band doesn't, because Gates definitely has some crazy leads as well, but Portnoy just brings the level of mastercraft required to belong in such a glorious melody. Even when he's not doing a lot with the forefront sounds like the tom, snare, or kicks, he is doing all kinds of things in the background with every little cymbal he can find to add different sounds and fill the song up even more. Just making for a great big progressive song that I can certainly go on and on and on about, but I will say it's a beautiful way to close out the song and album with the lyrics of "Tonight We All Die Young." filling the crazy drums that are obviously one last flourish for the motivating force of the album with their lost drummer. Just a damn masterpiece in my ears that I will drive around the block a few times before parking just to hear it to the very end, if need be, every time it comes on in my rotation.
It's hilarious.
And you wouldn't even finish listening to it.
I tried.
Buddy.
I tried. It's hilarious to me how like opposite we are with each one of these. Like and things that, well, except for the one, we both knew that was a shit song, but anyway.
Yeah.
It's really funny to me.
Yeah. I mean, it always has kind of been that way though, right? Like that's what usually makes the show as endearing as it is, because we don't just always have the same opinion. We're not just fucking jerking off the greatest fucking rock band that we both agree on. I can certainly tell you that if we ever reviewed a Rush album, I might not even get Runa to fucking listen to it, but I will make it just as much fanboyish as this one. So like there's clearly some differences in our taste of opinions. I mean, not just with music. Fuck, do you remember the Grand Budapest Hotel? Like, I hated that movie. That's like one of your favorites.
I loved it.
Right. And what was the other one? The fucking Brad Pitt one. The only thing I remember is Dag.
Oh.
He would call dogs Dags. That shit was hilarious. It's the only thing about that entire movie I liked.
I didn't really like that movie either, to be fair, though. Like,
oh no,
it was okay. No, not really.
Yeah.
I'm not usually into those kind of. Huh?
Yeah. No, I was going to say, if I remember correctly, I was just going to point out, like, there was that's the one I ended with, like, a really series of jokes, and you were kind of like, what the fuck is he talking about? And when I had the punchline, you were laughing about it. Yeah. And we're just like, yeah, hell yeah, I can agree with that. Yeah, we were kind of on the same page.
Snatch. Elder got it for
Snatch,
us. Thank you, Elder.
Thank you, Elder. Yes. Yes. Okay. Well, we have an overall, right? Do you have an overall?
We didn't do track 12. There's one song.
There's a track 12?
Yeah.
What? No.
Lost It All?
Oh, that's a B-side.
Well,
interesting. I mean, I'd love to hear your review on it.
Sure, it's really short and sweet. I don't know about sweet.
I hate this song. End of discussion.
The track is called Lost It All. And I said, the song title clearly alludes to my sanity, because I have lost it. There's only so many ways to say good instrumental work, poopy lyrics, and meh vocals. Whoever drums and plays guitar should start their own band.
Oh, fuck, that's great. That's so good. See, that's great. I love hearing that. I know the song. So we're gonna listen to the deluxe album. Yeah, I listened to the Spotify one. My bad.
No, like I went off the lyrics, like because the lyrics said that it was on there, so I had to go and find it. And I remember one time, we reviewed something, I can't remember what it was, and you had a missing track, or I had a missing track, and you reviewed it, and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, I remember that too. It was the same idea. It was like, yeah, this happened before. That's fun. Not a Taste Buds first, but a Taste Buds memory and fun times. And maybe more down the road. Who knows? Either way, I have my overall to deliver still. So, like I said in the review, I have a lot of emotional ties to this album. It's hard for me to rate this anything other than great. So I will just save you the time and say just that. It's a great album. It's not a perfect one, mind you, not even favorite Avenged Sevenfold album of mine, but it's a great one. The few filler feeling songs definitely hold it back though. There's also the obvious dark/haunting tones that lead to the choice of it being the album for the Halloween episode. And of course, the stories that came with it and the creative process alongside of that. I always wanted to do an Avenged Sevenfold album on Taste Buds, regretting that now, and kind of used Halloween as my chance to finally get that done. And it was a blast to revisit it with such an attentive ear and hear things that I may not have paid attention to upon previous playthroughs or even cared about for that matter.
All right.
But yeah.
All right. Now, my overall, I didn't embellish too much on this, so where to begin? With an album named like Nightmare, I went into this expecting heavy tunes, dark imagery, and hard vocals. I really enjoyed the music, but you guys have surely caught on by now that I'm not a fan of his voice or the lyrics on this album. With the exception of 3 songs, they all sound quite similar, and none of them go as hard as I wanted them to. This album kind of bled together for me and was ultimately a miss.
Hmm. You know, it's funny. Originally, there was a discussion on what album to use for Halloween. I knew I wanted it to be an Avenged Sevenfold album, but I didn't know if we were going to go with City of Evil or Nightmare. The reason I wanted it to be an Avenged Sevenfold album, though, is there's a little fun thing with R2 Dope and Pilot Jones. They always, tell me that. They always just be like, "Oh, Avenged Sevenfold's just a Halloween band." I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna fucking use that for the album then." And just asking around the community of people that are familiar with the band, Nightmare was definitely the choice. How many mics? How many yikes? That's a good question. Runa, I'm gonna fill you in on a little bit of discussion me and Blaze had in Montana.
Okay.
There used to be a magazine back in the day. It was called The Source, and it was a magazine that would review and cover just all things hip hop. So when an album would come out, they had a rating by way of how many mics it received, anywhere from 0 to 5. 5 being without doubt greatest of all time. This is an absolute legend of an album. For example, um, it doesn't matter. I think Nas's Illmatic got it. I think Reasonable Doubt by Jay-Z, Enter the 36 Chambers by Wu-Tang was eventually revisited and given 5 mics. Not important. Just very, very legendary albums. All of which Dylan probably has on vinyl to give you an idea of the status. Anyway, if I were to give a mic review, like Blaze is asking, I would probably give this one a solid 4, maybe even 4.5 for me. Not a 5, certainly not a 0 that Runa Pro probably give it.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's
So we also kind of played around with the idea of having a system like that for rap albums, me and Blaze. And if they were really, really shitty, where you don't even want to just say, I'm gonna just say 0, like you could even go as far as giving a negative number. And how many yikes does it get rather than how many mics does it get?
many yikes. Oh, infinite yikes.
Oh, this is
I
a
don't
5
know.
yikes-er. Okay, all right.
It wasn't okay. It wasn't terrible, okay? But I did
Right.
not like it. I would not go seeking this album out again. I would not let it play on my Pandora station if it popped up randomly. Yeah.
That is quite a review. Um, well, shit. That's it for the review then. Do you want to discuss a little bit about movie night?
Yeah. So Wednesday, I'm gonna be in there probably at 10. We're gonna be doing a Hocus Pocus 2 watch party if you guys want to come out and watch the movie with us. I know it's late for some of y'all, so no worries if you can't make it or if you have to leave halfway through. Um, but yeah, that's gonna. I'll be in there at 10, and we'll probably wait till Carnage gets back from his nutsack guitar drum show.
And if for some chance reason you happen to like this album, by any chance, me and Nutsack are actually going to be playing the entire album live. Nutsack is going to be doing the drums. I might kick in there for some of the singing. Maybe I'll swap out on drums with him for a song or two. We're still not sure yet. I have not practiced drums at all in so long, so that's probably not going to happen. But maybe I'll just flourish around a little bit. Who knows? We'll see. So be sure to tune in for that. That's going to be at 9 o'clock on Wednesday, where we play this entire album front to back. And then he also has some other cool stuff in store as well, like just with the whole presentation and just all the production value into it. It's definitely something you guys are want to check out. So
Yeah.
immediately following that, I'm gonna haul ass back home. It's about a 15-20 minute drive for me, and hop in Discord to watch Hocus Pocus 2 for sure.
Yep. And then me and Carnage are gonna be deafened, so we can just focus on the movie, and you guys can, watch it, chit chat, whatever you want to do. And
Yeah.
we'll have our review ready to go on Friday at 8 p.m. for our second episode, last episode. We don't know yet. We'll see.
Oh, one other thing to point out, as some of you may have caught on, the show also used to have a food section in it as well, where we would actually review food at times. We are already doing 2 episodes, so we really didn't want to cram in a third one for just food. So instead, we decided if you have any kind of creations for the festive season, any kind of pumpkin carving or Halloween treats for trick or treaters, any kind of homemade stuff like that, candy, Halloween party foods, whatever the case may be. Anything you guys want us to show off, put it in the Discord in Flavor Town. If you could actually just kind of like tag one of us in it so we know that that's one of the things that we're supposed to show off, that would be great. And then on Friday's episode, when we go to review Hocus Pocus 2, before getting into the movie review, we'll start off with food reviews.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say review, I don't mean like you post something and we're going to shit all over it. Like, we're going to have nothing but kind things to say about it. We're not going to say anything mean or anything. We just kind of want to show a way to appreciate you guys, for you guys to just come in and show up. Like, we want to show off some of your hard work now. Like, we want to show you guys are fucking doing some cool shit too for Halloween.
Yeah, a little community spotlight kind of thing. I'm not critical about other people.
Yo, listen, Trav, I will say this, dog. Like, she is certainly honest. We here at Taste Buds maintain that all of our opinions are 100% from the heart and honest. And the reason that is because sometimes you're going to get some shit that we don't like. If you ever want to go back and really just fucking hate on country music for me, there was a Out Cheer playlist we did once upon a time. Somebody put 2 country songs back to back. Ooh, that was a solid 10 minutes of me just fucking hating music for for a little while. So I mean, you know, these things happen. We don't like everything the same. We certainly don't like all the things the same. So, you know, difference in opinion is usually what makes the show fun.
Yep. And speaking of, I had a ton of fun tonight, man. This was great.
Oh
I'm
my
really
God.
glad we
I
decided to do
like
it.
hell yeah. So like part of me is just like, hey, GP is still gonna be able to start on time, but I kind of want to go longer because man, I missed this.
Well, we got
We
another
don't really
episode
have
to
anything
do,
else to
so
talk about. Yeah. I was
Yeah.
gonna say we don't really have shit else to talk about, but fuck vamping is nice.
Yeah. Well, is GB in the chat right now?
Yeah,
You
let's
around,
just
homie?
confirm. GB, go longer. I was just kidding, dog. We don't really have to go longer. We were having a good
Oh,
time, but
yeah, we're just
running out of
bullshitting at this
content.
point anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Well, I
yeah, if
guess
you're ready to go.
yeah, if you're ready to start, we'll give you another minute or two. Just let us know in the chat there. But
Yeah, just tell us
yeah,
to shut the hell up.
I guess fucking thank you guys for coming out for the first day of the Halloween event.
Yeah.
We're, super stoked about it. Blaze put in so much work on some of the stuff, you guys. Like,
You don't even know yet.
dude has been killing it.
Holy fucking hell. Like, if this is the biggest thing we can do for Blaze to bring back Taste Buds, 2 episodes at that, fucking this still isn't enough to repay him for the work he's doing. Holy
Legit.
fucking shit. Once y'all see what he has in store for you, it's still like it's been announced. It's already been announced. The ghost hunting thing. Wait till you see how much fucking work he did to this. Holy shit. I haven't seen the finished product yet. Just seeing some of the editing process, though, I'm already blown away. So I absolutely cannot wait to see the fucking finished product. That is going to be such a good time. That's going to be at that's 9 p.m. on Friday, right? That's immediately following our last episode.
Mm.
So next time you see us, we're going to be handing it off to that very moment. So that's going to be a good time. But other than that, I would specifically like to thank all y'all for not only showing up to the day 1 of the Halloween event. Thank y'all for all the streamers that have participated so far and all the ones that are coming up, such as OMG, it's GB coming on next. I'm pretty sure you could smoke on the channel. Like,
Yeah.
shit, plenty of people do challenges on this channel. I can only imagine. Yeah, you're good,
Yeah.
GB.
We don't give a fuck. Go for it.
Hell nah. So I will say this much though. More than anything, I appreciate the fuck out of everyone that showed up and wanted to see Taste Buds come back, because that means the world to me, y'all. Like, the fact that y'all were just Blaze fucking blew up every single channel to Discord just putting hashtag bring back Taste Buds at one point. If you pay attention in the Hail Married overlay, which premieres tomorrow for the Halloween episode, there is a hashtag bring back Taste Buds hidden in the overlay during one of the transitions there. It's so fucking cool, man. He clearly wanted to see this come back. I'm happy that we were able to bring this back, if not for forever, at least for 1 or 2 more episodes to kind of give everyone, one last taste of Taste Buds. So thank you guys so much for showing up for this. That was awesome.
Yep. We appreciate it.
Hell yeah.
All right. Well, it looks like GB's ready. If you guys want to play, he's doing Phasmophobia tonight, I believe. And yeah, if you guys are down for some spooky late night stuff, definitely hit him up. Join.
Yeah, I think he's doing it in VR too.
Oh.
Yeah, I think he has a VR setup. He was saying, GB, are any chance on a pumpkin carving? Because I gotta be honest with you, that sounded kind of dope too. I'm not gonna lie. He was saying, I don't know if I should just carve a pumpkin or play Phasma, and I'm like, well, fuck, either of those sound dope.
Yeah, whatever you want to do.
But yeah,
But yeah,
so
let's hand it off. Thank you guys so much for coming out, and we'll catch you guys in the other streams.
peace. Out cheer.